Hi everyone, my name is Alberta and welcome to episode 11 of the Evently Live chat show. Today our special guest is DJ Tony Tony. We're going to be talking about the music industry in Malta and Gozo. Tony is a person that has rocked numerous events for decades now, parties after parties, clubbing, corporate events, personal events. I think he's done it all. I'm just going to invite him into the live stream now. We're gonna see him in 2 seconds.
Whoops.
Hi, Tony.
How you doing? All good, all good.
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. And you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Chilling
Amazing.
on a
Thank you very
QT
much.
quality time.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being on the show today, Tony.
hmm
Um, just for all our viewers to know, perhaps you could introduce yourself for everyone. Perhaps they haven't heard about you yet.
Well, I have true love for the music. When I was born, I shouted out, "Music is the answer." And well, that's my love. I've been DJing for quite a long time, so I have a great respect for all the music. So it's coming from the heart. This group is in the heart, as we all say. You know.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. How young were you when you started? You started experiencing the DJ scene.
The first, but not DJ scene, because we lived in Cyprus for 3 years, and my family used to go out partying, and I used to hear this reel-to-reel tape, and I used to love music all the time, listening to Otis Redding, Tom Jones, and all the oldies at the time. But then when we came back to Malta, then I was about 16, 17. Started DJing in a club called the Duke. It
Yeah,
happened really surprisingly, yeah, because I just was walking my dog, and this guy was a friend of mine who owned the club in St. Julian's. He saw me. He said, "Oh, can you come play? Club. You know your music." I said, "Okay, let's try," and just hit it up from those days. Like I've been self-employed now from 1988, so I used to play in hotels, and private parties with the vinyls and tapes and whatever that was at the time. Well, it's a good experience. So that's why I started around maybe 17, and then I went self-employed later on. So it took
and
a
this
bit of time.
has this always been in Malta, Tony? Because your accent.
When I was at school, I was in an English school when I was a kid.
Okay, all right, okay. Oh, so that's where the
So
accent's coming from.
yeah, with the British, with the English, in Cyprus, it was an English base. So when we lived there, my father was in the RAF, and I went to an English school. But obviously, when we came to Malta, I still had that, a bit of
Yeah,
accent, even though I was a bit young. So let's see.
it stays with you. It stays with you. I mean, when I was younger, I went to an all English speaking school, so my first my first language would be English now. And then I think secondly in Maltese. It stays with you.
It stays there with you. Sometimes I change the accent for a buzz, and that's just for a laugh, and just yeah. But that's how it happened. So yeah,
Cool, cool, cool. So, I mean, you did explain briefly that you began in the DJ scene from this place, the Duke,
yeah,
right?
the Duke. But then I wasn't working full time as a DJ at that time. I was a refrigeration technician. I used to repair
Okay.
refrigerators, but obviously my father used to have his part-time dancing with my mom at Villa Rose at those days. They used to do the dancing because used to dance together and have shows and all that. So obviously then it grew on. It's okay. Like my sister's not like me. She loved the music, but she never went through the DJ world. But I kept
Okay.
on loving the music. Obviously, by time then leaving my refrigeration job, and I knew that's all I want to do, just DJing and listen to music and play music because my heart was there all the time. So that's what happened. Then I just left the refrigeration job, and I kept going as a DJ. So it's a long history because it's when you look back in time and you say, how can I, do this? How did I do this from all those? Because I was playing with my father. My brother is a DJ too, so he began as a DJ. He left his work, he went as a DJ, and I used to DJ there, and he used to DJ in the hotel, and that's how it happened. The ball kept rolling and rolling, But obviously, when you work in hotels, it was a different scene in the 80s. And I wanted to move on and go to St. Julian's, and I said, okay, I'm leaving Bujibba. I used to work in Bujibba in hotels with the English and the British. There was still, there was still a full of, how can I say, it was full of UK tourists at that time, a lot of them. So then when I moved to St. Julian's, and it's a new experience. We used to work in the club, work here. It's always challenging. So
Yeah,
that's how it got on. And then I went to the radios, and on the radio, I went to the radio doing R&B. I used to play in a rock club, and it was a lot of. I used to confuse a bit of people because they used to tell me, "What DJ are you? Are you a rock DJ, an R&B DJ, a house DJ, or whatever?" And I said, it's the music is in me. I cannot play one style of music. So even 60s and 70s, back in the hotel, I used to play ballroom dancing, like quick step, cha-cha, and the country music, and but it's all there, it's all good, the music is. I love all the music
you're
from country
blending.
music.
You're blending for the audience. I mean, exactly what they're looking for. So, based on your crowd, you're going to adapt and be able to give them a good set, basically, because you're. It's probably why you've built the name that you have nowadays. I mean, Tony, a lot of people know about you. You've been everywhere. You've done everything. You've done an amazing
Not all
name
of
for
them, but the
yourself.
young ones don't know about me. Because I'm aging now. I'm aging now, so I have to be careful. I
Shh,
have to.
shh. I'll remove when you said like from the 1980s, so no one knows.
No, but yeah, yeah. The music is all good. You cannot
Yeah,
just like country music and rock and whatever. It's all in one. As I feel it. Maybe not other people feel it like me, that only like one genre of music or the other genre of music. But I think music is so vast. Take Avicii. He did a song with the country music in it. You know, like "Wake
yeah,
Me Up," and it blew up. And I think guys like Avicii, who were born, in their family listening to old music, they have this vision of creating new styles nowadays. So I think all the music from the past is coming back here and doing this sample here, sample there. So it's all good.
cool,
Mm.
cool, cool. I do want to go a bit more into Tony. You did briefly say, but like the inspiration of you actually entering the music scene, entering the DJ scene. Uh, where did this light bulb of going? Is it does it come from your father that you wanted to continue into the DJ scene?
Um, I really, when I started playing in the club, and then you feel that you wanna more out of the nightlife. Okay, my father was a part of it, but it has to be also coming from you. It's like a soul thing. It's in you. So the inspiration is coming from probably a bit of my father's side and my parents' side. I used to dance, and I used to hear those songs back when I was a kid. So I had this musical love, in me, that I had to express it out. So I think I'm not like, I didn't like wanted to be like this DJ. I don't want to be like this DJ or this producer or this or that. I wanted to play all styles of music and give that love to the
Very
people.
good.
The style of music. Because I
Okay.
think all the music is good. So the inspiration, I think, is coming in you. Yeah, it has to be in you to love to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
You cannot come up like you're 21 and maybe you're 30 and say, "Oh, I want to become a
Okay.
DJ."
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
agree.
okay, you can come a
You can
DJ, but
try, but you
it's
won't
like
have that passion there for it.
it has to have a passion on you, like a footballer. Like if you're really good at it, it shows.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, but it's always challenging also nowadays, because in music scene is very challenging. It's not easy as much as people think they are. I think all the DJs out there who've been playing a long time know about the challenges that are there. So it's not easy, and I respect those DJs who are carrying on and never giving up doing what they love to do.
Yeah.
So
Keep it
mm,
going. Cool.
keep it going.
Yeah. Tony, if you don't mind me asking, so I know you've done events, parties, the clubbing seal, and I know that we're working together on corporate and personal events. Maybe you want to explain the different service that you can offer either for corporate events or for personal events.
Well, corporative events, when you have maybe a bit of a lot of foreign guests, like different, like coming from Germany, France, UK. So I think the music taste from each person is a different, even from Spanish or Italy.
Yeah.
So when you have a crowd like that, you need to focus, or it's not easy as much as you think, but you have to please this guy, please a guy, and read the crowd really, what you have in front of you. Okay, you cannot always be 100%, or sometimes you need to experiment, or put some songs and like to experiment, and adapt, and when you see something is wrong, you just shift it over or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think is reading the people, how they act, and maybe where they're
Okay.
coming from. We have a more an idea. Like example, people from UK are different than the Spanish or the Maltese. Their taste of music, So it's not as easy as much as you think when you have this kind of crowd all mixed up together. But it's fun because you have this culture. You're playing this one, playing that one. You're mixing up a bit. That's the good thing also, regarding foreign guests. You have an idea what you're gonna play, what they like, and so you're more focused on that line. I guess so.
Yeah. All right. Okay. You seem to be mentioning the foreigners quite a lot. Have you done quite a lot of corporate events with foreigners in the middle, or
I I've done a lot of foreign events, yes, and if, even like sometimes you have only French people, and French people are totally different. You have to have the French music, and the style is completely different. And sometimes
okay?
maybe you have only one type of people. Okay, and sometimes you have UK guest or Spanish or whatever. So, but it's always challenging when you have some like Spanish, or the music you have to dig more and more and more. So it gets more challenging in the time, but it's fun. But the important
Okay.
thing is that you read the crowd, what you have in front of you. You cannot be always 100% right, because you'll always find someone that, oh, you have to play this for me, this and that. So,
When I used to
but you
work
have to
in
be patient.
catering, I was always taught that the customer is always right.
Well, I don't think so. It's always right, though. Huh? Sometimes they make mistakes too.
Let's just say that. Amazing. All right. Thank you very much for asking all my questions. I'm sorry I did put in a few other questions for you that
No
weren't really on the
problem.
agenda. But I did think that they would be relevant for all our viewers.
Uh-huh,
You
uh-huh.
were talking about genre, and you've mentioned that you go from all different types, but are there the main ones that you enjoy doing, like with events, or are there certain genres that you don't enjoy working on?
Um, as I said, I love all music. So if you're at a party and you're mixing up all the music, I love all the music. It can be from the 60s, 50s till now. So there's not really any favorite musical style than that I want to hear all this. So when I'm playing, and when I'm on DJing, and the music is from the 60s until till now recently, I'm enjoying it, because, as I said, I love all the music. I said, oh, we don't play this, I don't like this, and I don't moan, blah blah. So, and when it comes to maybe some other clubbing events, or parties that they want this type of music, like maybe only deep house music,
Yeah,
or house, or only R&B, hip hop,
yeah,
I can adjust to it, because I have been through all those stages, from R&B, hip hop, soul, funk, 70s, 80s, rock and roll, you know. So I can adapt for all the situations, and I love it because I love the music. I don't start moaning, or you
no,
said that
listen, it's
this.
not my style. I'm not gonna do this.
No, no, no. I don't. I would. I would. I would. Okay. There are some times that you need to be careful when you drop the song. You cannot play. People are dancing, and people ask you, "Oh, can you play this song?" And it's a
You're gonna
slow
switch
song,
to
but
yeah,
and look, everybody's shocked. So
yeah.
no. But when it comes to example, the specific song music in genre, if you want to hear R&B hip hop, I can go really deep into the R&B and hip hop scene,
Okay. Okay.
or maybe into the house scene, or into the rock scene, because I played in a rock bar called the Alley for 10 years. The best rock scene we had in
I
Malta.
remember
So
that. Yeah, I remember the alley.
and I love the music. It's I don't know. You feel alive. You feel free. When you're playing all styles of music. Okay, sometimes if I miss the rock scene a bit also, because it's been cut out now for a while since the generation is growing, and you got the young ones coming in. The rock scene is not as strong as it used to be before. But anyway, you have to go with the flow. So, example, I'm just also playing in techno clubs,
Okay.
and
Cool.
and very underground music. So, but as I said, I love the music. I search the music. I think of the music. We have done a production. Me and my friend Paul Hamilton together.
Okay.
I'm also signed with the label, underground label, two labels abroad, but
Okay.
underground. So I cannot say it. It's where you are. You cannot play, example, techno and hardcore stuff when you're in a corporate event.
Yeah.
Maybe at the end you have some people who want to hear that music. Okay, but you have to adjust really what you have in front of you, the crowd. And
Accordingly.
it makes a buzz,
Exactly.
because I think nobody, no one is okay. People out there, they listen to music, and I don't think that maybe all of the people are 100% know what's going on in the music scene. So when they hear the radio, they want to hear the commercial stuff, you know, and maybe the 80s. You have the young ones loving the 80s, and it's all good. I'm not saying, oh, I'm not going to play 80s. It's good. It's the music. It's all there.
Fair enough. Fair
Grooves in
enough.
the heart. Yeah.
طيبة. Tony, let me ask you, what music do you actually listen to? So we know the music, you can play it all, you can do it for all the events. But what is your passion? Like when you're home alone, is there something specific you enjoy listening to yourself?
Um, if I had to
We're
listen to
getting a
music,
bit
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're dropping the bomb on me now. But anyway, no.
takja.
To be honest, I love to hear to listen to a lot of old stuff from the
Yeah,
'60s
cool.
till the '90s and 2000s. It's from rock to R&B to soul. So I mix it up a bit. So but then when it comes to the underground stuff, I can hear it like on my headphones and see what tunes there are, but I cannot hear it all day. I love it,
Yeah,
but I cannot hear it all day. Obviously, when you're a DJ and you're clubbing, you need to shift the music to a bit of more mellow music with a more like calm music, like maybe the '80s, the '60s, the vocal stuff.
yeah,
So it calms you down a bit, because I think the music, okay, it's good to be a DJ, and there's a hype in it, but then your mind needs to rest a bit,
yeah.
and I can hear
And you
that.
don't need
even
to
even
have
romantic,
like,
even romantic songs. I love the romantic songs, the cheesy ones.
yeah.
Yeah, putting on the cheesy
So
ones, and
any
I
women watching us, like if you wanna, you need to send the cheesy songs.
love connection.
Yes.
But it's different than today. The scene before in the '80s was different. Before in the '80s, we used to dance slow songs. You go up to a club, you're waiting for the slow song, to pick up a girl. Oh yeah, let's dance. And there was the communication. There was more. So everybody was waiting
Nothing
for.
like today.
No, today forget it. Today forget it. No, no. But it's good because before there was communication.
Yeah,
Like people can talk. I know I like the scene today because it's a hype. When I'm playing like for these clubbing events, and there's a hype. It gives you the energy, and especially with the young people. Yeah, it's a buzz. It gives me a buzz. I'm telling you, it's like it's energy. But musically, I like to be calming down a bit and listen to all that slow rock and songs and the 80s and the 60s, so
Bit
that's
more
what I love to hear.
relaxed. A
A
bit
bit
more
more
relaxed.
relaxed, even a bit of jazz. I like
Cool.
jazz
All
and all
right.
that stuff,
Very good. Very good. All right.
like
Super.
Michael Bublé and Frank
Yeah,
Sinatra. Come on, they're all big acts, and the music is
they
is
are.
always good. They're top, man. You know,
Yeah. 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 Definitely. Cool. All right. So we passed the question where we went very direct. The bomb has fallen and has passed.
bang, 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 shut you down.
You were mentioning a lot the underground scene. Has this become like a latest music trend internationally and locally? Are there other trends happening at the moment?
There is a trend for the underground scene. I think in abroad, even in Malta, especially in Malta, there are a lot of upcoming DJs and producers who are coming into the scene because they don't want to play the commercial stuff. They want to stay a bit of underground. So and I think I love that style of music too. So it's not because I want to adapt. It's in me that I want to play also that music sometimes to run away from the commercial side and go into the underground music. But I
Yeah.
think today even today there's people who love the underground music and there are people who like the commercial music. So it's a balance.
Yeah.
It's a balance. But I think this scene in Malta now, there's a lot of underground music scene, and it's good. And it's good, especially these producers. As I said, I mentioned like my friend of mine, Paul Hamilton, with his stuff together, and it's underground. And he's helping like the other DJs coming abroad, signing them with labels who are good. So there's a bit of respect for their music too. You cannot say, okay, maybe it's not your style, but you got this young generation coming up now, and I think they're doing a good thing, and maybe they're helping each other more, you know. So, well, as I said, the globally there's a lot of styles of music now. There's a lot of styles of music. Generally in Malta, I'm talking about that it's more like R&B, hip hop, a bit of more underground music, house music, electronic music. Okay, there's the rock scene too, but the rock scene is now limited, not as like as I think it was before, because the upcoming generation now are more into this dance and have a good time,
Yeah.
and that style. So, but I think also the younger generation are listening to the oldies also, because if you have a band and they're using the cover versions, and they mostly sing the oldies. Okay, and they can sing like uh, Coldplay and all those bands, So, but I think the scene now is more for the young generation. It's underground, bit of R&B, dance. People are more getting the groove and all that. So,
Yeah. I think
but
it
it's
is
good.
very different from 10 years ago because I do remember the and you would hear like Metallica and Biscuit, and it was just hardcore, very heavy. But people used to love it. It was packed every day.
Yeah, but the thing is, it wasn't that also always Metallica. There was like Oasis coming out. There was
Yes.
Suede and Stone Temple Pilots and Stone Roses and Nickelback,
Yeah.
and Guns N' Roses. So the scene but there was it was an era. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
gone now. Okay, you can say, listen, I wanna get a rock bar now or a rock club.
Would you like
I
to
don't
see
think.
that happen in Malta? Do you
Yeah,
think?
but I don't think it will happen as much as it was before,
Yeah. Do you think
because the
it would
younger
work
generation,
though if someone had to do
it
it?
it's very challenging because the people who love the rock scene, especially that type of rock scene, like the early days, they're now married, have kids,
Yeah.
this and that. Okay, once in a while they go out. Maybe they can play the rock scene when you're playing in a private party in a house. They go mad, because it's their era and it's rock,
And it's like, yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So they miss it a bit. But I think now they need a lot of support now from the young generation who can support the rock music, the rock scene. But I still believe that it wouldn't be as much as good as the 90s,
Yeah.
because the people at the time, we didn't have that internet. We didn't use internet. The music, were focusing on the music. You're more like the rock thing, and everybody was coming for the music, like 6 a.m. in the morning, like 7 a.m. in the morning, packed. But I think now the rock scene can work in Malta, but I'm not sure 100%. I think there's a bit of
Times have
a
changed. Yeah, times have
time.
changed.
Yes,
And
yes,
I
yes.
think we've been I mean, media does play a lot in it. So if you're brought up from a young age watching TV, listening to this commercial stuff, having MTV and all that, then you're bound to grow up and continue perhaps liking that certain style that you were hearing commercially, even the radio. I mean, uh,
Mhm.
there's the top 50 songs that you're hearing basically on all the different channels, realistically.
Yes. How can I say? It's okay. Like, but don't get me wrong. Not today. There is good music. Obviously, I was always promoting R&B while I was playing rock music at the alley. I was promoting
Yeah.
R&B. So that's why I was confusing people. So but that was in me, and I had a vision that I wanted to do R&B. In '94 we did one at Access Freestyle, a
Cool.
small party, and then we did a place in Havana, and once in a weekend it blew up. And then we started a radio show. I started a radio show with Bay Radio and with XFM. Now I'm on Vibe FM doing street jams. It's an R&B show.
Cool. Okay.
So I have it like adapt for the young generation because I love the music nowadays too. So I'm not saying that the this music, because I love this music now. So that's why that you have to go into the younger teenagers' minds what they're thinking now, because when you were young, you used to think like they used to do. So now when they're young, like maybe you have kids, 16 or 14, they're listening to this hip hop, and then maybe the parents, oh, what is this music? Oh, but for me, it's good. I think, you
No,
know,
I have a 7-year old and he listens to this song, right step up, left foot down, something like that.
to
It
see
goes
slide.
something like that. Yes.
It's by Drake, to see slide.
Yeah,
You
something like that.
know,
Okay.
Living life.
Something like that.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to go into these people's minds, and with this young generation, I never stuck back into the past. I never wanted to play all the same styles, so I adapted now to the younger generation. Okay, the younger generation. Maybe there's the young DJs who love the young DJs. Like, he's good looking, and the friends coming in. It's a good, because the ball keeps rolling, and maybe they hear the music. The DJs are adapting to the music, and but I didn't want to stay like always on. I have to adapt to the younger generation, and I'm not
Exactly.
doing it. I'm not doing it because I want to, because I love it.
Yeah.
You know,
Cool.
I love
Very good.
the music scene. The younger generation. It gives you power. I had gigs like 2000 student party, and damn, you know, it's like energy. You feel the energy. So
Super, super.
so
For all our
yeah.
viewers, they know now that if they're going to be booking an event and getting DJ Tony, he's going to be able to do anything and really get a good vibe in the event, from what I'm
Well, I
hearing.
try.
'Cause
It's
you're
always
well
challenging.
known
But people
for
say,
it.
oh, because the DJs also DJs. It's always challenging when you go to a place. You don't know what you're gonna find. The people maybe are in this mood or in that mood, even in the club. You know,
To go to
so
the
you have to do your
bartender, like,
best, right?
give them a bit more alcohol.
So you have to adapt, and I think most of the people also there should like respect a bit of a DJ too, because he's trying
Yeah,
to. Or well, okay. Sometimes everybody make mistakes. Even me, I do mistakes. I had
for
lousy gigs
sure.
and I had good gigs, like
Okay.
everyone else.
Yeah.
But it's always you have to think positive and
There is a
do what
whole
you have to do. And
there's a whole plan behind what so you're not just going into an event and you're just starting, but you need to slowly pick people up, take them to the best point and then taking them back down, right? I mean, it's not just go plug and play. I mean, there's a lot of thought and effort put behind every single event you do.
there's always a thought. On events, it's not only the DJs, everyone. It's always it's thinking. That's why I think like some of our DJs they get mentally tired because they're always thinking and listening to music and hearing the music and watching the crowd.
Yeah.
Maybe people coming to talk to you. And I want to say this that like when you're a DJ, like and you have this console, just be careful because sometimes I had parties they don't want to pull the console right on the dance floor.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
So,
Okay.
but then the DJ won't feel comfortable. No other DJ will feel comfortable when the crowd gets a bit hyper, and you end up nearly with the console, DJ console, pushing it really on the floor.
Yeah.
So I think
Definitely.
that's also one of the fears that DJs have nowadays. That when people get out of control, they need to calm down a bit, and respect a bit more the DJ, I guess. You know.
Yes, very true. Agreed, agreed. Before I go into the next question, I just want to ask you if maybe you want to say the event that you've enjoyed the most DJing
Hmm.
in your life. Just the
My
one.
God, man, you're gonna drop the bomb on me again.
It's a big one now.
There's so much events.
That's
Oh
one, that
my God,
first
man.
one that comes to mind that is the best, like the funnest event you've enjoyed, even with the crowd.
Ah, Um, there's a lot of types of events. Okay, I did the Isle of MTV every year from 2001 or two or something like that. You know, when it was building up slowly MTV in Malta.
Yeah?
But obviously, then when you go on stage on the MTV, the crowd is cheering. I think that's when you know uh, get that hype again. It's like but the thing is that's a different event because I think one of there's a lot of, oh my God, man, you dropped the bomb on me, man. It's like I at least you should have told me. Imagine what three events, not only one.
Okay, just the main
You know,
events then. Go for it. Go for it.
okay, three events. Let's do three events, okay? Because
Yeah.
you're stressing me here.
No, no, don't worry. Three, three. Yeah, yeah, go for three.
Okay, one of these is I think one of them is also with the Isle of MTV.
Yeah.
I'll do gigs with I used to play with G7 before, you
Cool.
know,
Okay.
and I also with G7 in sunglasses at night. But also one of the best ones is like I think it was 2 years ago. I did the opening also for the Isle of MTV after party
Okay.
in the club. But I start from the beginning because usually I'm that DJ that I want to start from the beginning. I love the warm ups. I think a warm up is a challenging for me.
Okay.
I don't like to come in the middle of a set after the other DJ most of the time. Okay, I do sometimes, but for me, starting from beginning doing the warm up is the most important thing in the club. So I think that's the one of the best feeling that I had about 2 years ago at the Isle of MTV after party when bang, that was so much energy and
Super. And
and
the reason that I wanted to ask you is I wanted people, if they never heard of you, I just wanted them to just see just a little bit of the scene that you've seen. So Design of MTV, there's after parties, the Sanga Season 9, G7. These are all huge events to be part of. So this is why I wanted to ask. I didn't want to put you on the spot, Tony. Sorry if I made you feel like I put you on the spot. I did warn you
no,
before.
I'm sweating at the moment. I'm sweating. Where's my
Go for it.
towel, man? You know,
Right. So
but
yeah,
no, no, it's uh-huh.
go.
No, but as I said, it's I've been through a lot, and I'm still doing it. I'm still doing what I love. As I said, I'm also playing in the underground scene too, but it's the buzz is a challenge. It's the challenge, and obviously I feel like a teenager. I'm not a teenager, but musically I feel like a
Yeah.
teenager. You know, so I think I need more respect from all the young generation. What do you think?
Well,
Like
maybe we should.
16-year-olds.
Maybe
I
this
think some
video is gonna get you more
more
respect you're looking
respect,
for.
more respect to where I'm coming from. I studied the R&B scene. I studied the R&B scene in Malta, and I was the one that started R&B scene from Axis to Havana and radio shows, you know, and I'm still doing it now after all these years,
Yeah.
just for the love of music. So you need to respect your daddy, man, your pimp daddy, musical daddy. Come on, show some love, baby. That's where we're coming from.
Amazing. So we actually have a comment here for you, Tony, from Jodie Fittany. I think she put it on Evently, so I'm going to read it for you. Hey, Tony, it's been a while. Remember me? I used to live on top of the alley back in the day. Good to see you again,
My God.
mate. and smiley face. So it's
Oh
Jody Fitani used to live on top of the alley back in the day.
my God! Now, did you flirt with me or something? Did you
Sorry,
flirt with me? Did she flirt with me
I don't know.
when I was
I don't
DJ?
know. I think she did it. She posted it in a watch party or in a comment or somewhere, and the guys in the office put the comments for you. So I mean, it would be great if she could maybe put it in the comments so you could see her photo. But thank you, Jody.
Hmm. Thank you, Jody.
We do have our last
Mm.
two questions, Tony. And this one before the last is really related to events, like the whole setup for a DJ. What is the right setup for a DJ at an event? Is it just plug and play?
Now, usually in events, sometimes they get their own setups. You
Yeah,
have a lot of people who do this technical side. But then I also got my own setup. I think for the DJs is usually they use a monitor. A monitor is when you're playing. Mostly, I play with CDJs or a laptop. Mostly have a monitor close to you and a good sound system in front of you. That is good, clear sound. But even when they set up the equipment, it depends also upon the place. Sometimes it's the place doesn't absorb a lot of sound.
yeah,
It's like it's a bit of hollow sound. It's like when you're in the dungeon and it's so the acoustics of the place is it okay. The sound would be very good, but the acoustic of the place wouldn't adapt. For all the systems. So obviously it's still good, but obviously the technical side, then again, they can manage to lower a bit the bass or
yeah,
about the reverb and all that. But I think Malta will have a good people have a good sound selection. It's you can get
yeah.
anything in Malta
But
now.
you do take your own sound setup to an event, or do you leave it in the hands of a venue of the venue?
No. Sometimes it depends. Sometimes it's a private party in a house, or maybe it's a wedding. Sometimes I use my own equipment. I have equipment, and sometimes if there's a wedding after party, I can use the band's equipment if they agree. Because sometimes I
Yeah.
do that with some
Okay.
bands. I just go during the day, set up a mixer or whatever I'm playing with, and then I'll just swap to the band's equipment. But it isn't
Okay.
always like that. Sometimes maybe the after party happens in another room
Yeah.
or somewhere like that. So you have to carry your own stuff. And
Yeah.
especially in I don't like to set up in Valletta. Valletta is a bit of a hustle coming in, and the time, the permits, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's stressing for me. So when I have this kind of events, and maybe I don't want to stress myself, I just make a call, and I'll find everything ready to,
Yeah. They just get
figure it out.
the stuff for you at the place.
So but as I said, there's a lot of good technicians out there and equipment, so it's
I've
all
heard it
good.
from a lot of bands and DJs that they do leave it in the hands of a particular company and they continue using their own setup. I mean, they're
No, of
maintaining
course,
it,
the bands are
everything.
different. The bands are different than the DJ, because the bands, they have the monitors, and maybe they're used to the same technicians. They know how they
Yeah.
liaise with them. So I think it's fair enough that the bands will use always their equipment.
Yeah.
Obviously my equipment is not okay. I can do the live song, but like acoustic and all those, it's no problem. But when it brings to bring to the big bands, then they have their own systems and their own stuff. But for the
Yeah.
saxophone and maybe you want to hook your piano with it and everything, and it's maybe a small event, or it's still there. It's still there. But when it
Yeah.
comes to the hardcore stuff for the bands, then you need
Then
a
you need
special
a
setup.
specific.
You
Okay.
have these.
All right. Cool. Thank you for that. I am going to put up another comment for you from Jess Grima.
Yeah.
Self-respect, Tony Stone.
Oh, Just Greenville Stone. How you doing, Stone? Yeah, he used to be a DJ at the Alley too. It's one of
Yes. Cool.
he's one of the top guys in the music scene. He's really into the music. Also, he's a great guy. So what is
Amazing.
comment, man? Come on, Jazz.
Thank you very much, Jess, for the comment. Tony, the last question I have for you today on the agenda.
Uh
What
huh.
is the future for DJ Tony Tony? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And
Oh
don't
my
say
God, man,
retired.
I'll be retired. Whoop!
No, you can't
I
say
don't
that.
think so. I can. No, no. Um, I cannot. I cannot. This is my passion, and I think I think I might do some more production with my friend Paul Hamilton later in
Okay.
the future for some more tunes, and obviously I might also do some gigs with Paul abroad because Paul has some contacts abroad, like in Dubai and all that. But we were going to go this summer, but
Yeah.
because of this COVID thing,
Then
I just canceled it. So we just canceled it. You know, he's stuck in Malta doing other stuff. So, but I think and I think that I'm always ready for challenges, for new challenges, you know, and for new clubbing events, everything new's coming up, like the Vibe FM thing, you know. I was one. Everybody was telling me, "Oh, you should go on the radio again," you
yeah.
know. And I took like about 10 years to think about it because I used to do Bay Radio, XFM, and the Vibe FM, and then I
Okay.
left the radio scene and I'm back again. So it's another challenge, and I'm
So now
loving
at the
it.
moment you're on Vibe, right?
Yeah, I'm doing street
And
jams. It's R&B, hip hop every Tuesday night
and just tell our viewers when it is.
from every Tuesday night from 8 till 10, and every Friday from 8 till 9 in the evening. So
Cool.
that's like I think in the future. I don't know what the future, but I think musically the future I'm gonna keep going. You know, for other challenges. You know, because I love the challenges and I love the music. There's competition out there, and I know, but what comes. You know, sometimes you need to stay humble a
Yes.
bit and wait for the right time. You know,
Yes.
so but you know, you're not gonna get rid of me for these couple of years,
Any
hopefully.
interesting projects for your fans? Anything, you're working on but you haven't told anyone
Mm,
of yet, but
my God.
you're gonna
Not
need
at the
me
moment.
after this show.
Not at the moment. As I said, I might do some stuff with again with my friend Paul Hamilton, and I don't know what the future can bring. You know, maybe do something abroad or whatever. But I think abroad I might do more on the underground scene,
Okay.
like progressive house, techno, and tech house,
So
and
it's
melodic
DJ
house.
Tony
So
goes on the ground.
yeah, I love the scene, but I think I'm going. Maybe, no, I'm going. I'm doing all the stuff. Don't you worry about it. But then on the other side, I'm going on the ground, baby, on the ground. That's it.
Amazing. I have
But
another
it's all good
comment.
because
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, do me, give me, you know,
We have
punish me,
an
punish
Owen
me.
Baldacchino here who says Tony was one of the pioneers and has contributed heavily to the local music scene. Respect is very well deserved. Owen
All right,
Baldacchino.
thank you. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Owen. He's also a friend of mine. He's also yeah, I knew him as a DJ. Also, he's doing a bit of part time here and there though, but
Okay,
he's a music lover too. So respect, Owen. Love you guys.
super. Thank you
Bounce.
very much, Owen. Thank you, Tony. I don't know if you have any final words for your followers, the viewers, and anyone watching the show today.
Okay, let the groove release your mind all the time.
Relax.
Bounce.
Super. It's been really great having you, Tony, on the show. You're just so positive and you're just so fun and happy. It's great. I'm really enjoyed meeting you today.
And thanks, Alberta, and the Eventually team. And I
Cool.
hope I'll see you soon. And don't forget,
Yes.
get your groove on. Get your groove on.
Definitely. Definitely. I'm gonna
Thanks
wave
for
you
everything.
goodbye, Tony. Thank you very
Goodbye.
much. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks.
There you have it, guys. We had DJ Tony. He's given us a lot of information, history about himself, getting to understand everything that he's done, setups and events, the music scene, genres, the same if it's international or local. I think this was a super good show. I believe Tony is an amazing guy. He's very positive, very fun. So I would definitely recommend, just from the vibe he gives, that you should definitely speak to him to get an event booked with him. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I look forward to seeing you next time. I believe our next show is set on Tuesday on Get Hitched. Thank you very much for viewing and see you next time. Bye bye.